All right, so this is your Lancer Tactical M82 spring sniper rifle. This one I converted to the Mancraft HPA. This is the drop-in kit. Right here is the modification that I made. It's out of sheet steel. It's welded into two sections. Basically, it holds the SDIK sniper drop-in kit, which is the SDIK. It holds it in place because the mounting holes for the internals, which are almost identical to the SVD, are a bit off. So everything is put together. I've finally figured out the problem with the air leaks. I just think it's just going to be the silicone oil and silicone grease and all that. So I'm going to put everything back together. And so right here is the air line, which runs into the back of the SDIK. I'm going to try to edit this so I can be more clear and see things. The safety does work on this. Right here, able to notch out an area so that the safety does work. So it's pretty good, and it locks in tight. So you can't pull the trigger once the bolt is pulled to the rear. It is quite a bit of a tight pull. You can try for a lighter spring, which is right in here, and that's the spring that came with the drop-in kit. You can try a lighter spring, but I don't think that's going to. I think if it's a lighter spring, it may have a different effect on your performance. I'm going to, when I get some time and it gets a little bit better weather outside, I'm going to hook in a chrono and everything for it to see what I'm shooting. My model that I built for myself, it's complete. I haven't really had any issues at all with it. Everything is within working order. Basically, it's got a pretty heavy snap when you fire it. So I'm going to hook it in. Here's the quick disconnect piece. Here is the HPA tank if you run a Ninja. Here is the regulator that goes onto it. I know that we are doing a CO2 adapter setup for this model, but it works great with a tank if you run one external tank hooked onto your belt pack or your backpack. Right now, I'm not sure if you can see it, but right now that it's in the green. When I was using it on mine, it was 550 to 600 feet per second. You can turn the knob to lessen or increase it. You can get a tournament lock for it. I would probably recommend that if you're going to be playing in some big games. So, going to hook in the air. Hopefully nothing rolls off the table, of course, because the tank is round. Anyway, basically it snaps right on. I did have a little bit of air leaking before, but now I don't. I think it had to do. So it's pretty loud. I was getting about 300 feet effective range for this, so unless the enemy is right with you, they're not going to hear that sound. But hopefully you can't hear any air leaking, because I don't have any air leaking. So fire it again. So basically, when you're done with that, the quick detach is just pop it off like that, and you don't have to readjust the tank. The regulator don't have to adjust it or anything. It still stays the same, and it's pretty simple. If you're going to do any kind of maintenance on this, it's got this little red push attachment fitting. So you just push both fingers and you pull it off, and basically that's the little plastic 4 millimeter airline. This is all from Mancraft, and when you want to put it back in, You just slide it right in and push it until it stops. And you can't pull on it. I guess if you wanted to pull on it and rip it out, it would come out. But everything else is really tight. The two set screws, which hold the entire system mounted onto the plate, will not move. This plate should last forever. It is screwed down into the body of the Lancer Tactical M82 is polymer, but it's rather stout. I mean, I took my rifle to several games, and I haven't had any issues with it. It's so light you can hold it with one hand, which is pretty impressive because I guess the snow wolf or the other metal Barretts out there are very heavy. The only issue you're going to run into, I'm not sure if you can see this, I might need some better lighting, but right where this piece, which holds your butt plate, which is all chunk of rubber, and that holds it all together, there is a pin that doesn't have an end to it. It just slides right through. If you have it off to one side, the pin moves back and forth. I just remedied that by doing a zip tie to make it a permanent thing. I guess you can just get a pair of snips and cut the zip tie. But other than that, going to put everything back together. So this is your all polymer, everything on it, even the rail is all polymer. So sliding it into it is, and you'll notice the only issue is on the front rail. You have to push down with one finger to slide it all the way in. Once you get that slid all the way in, you'll have three pins, three different size pins with O-rings. You have this guy here, and you have a bit longer, stupid lens there, and then of course your long one. The one that goes onto the very top of the receiver is the shortest one, and that's just, you can pick whatever side you want to push the pin in, and it's got a little, of course, having trouble here. Let's see. I guess it is size specific. I was wrong on that. There is, on the body of the pin itself, there is different thicknesses. So I was wrong. The shorter one does not go in the front, right up here. That is the second longest. So that one goes there. Now, putting the butt plate onto it is pretty simple. Just got to line the ends up. And I would probably put the butt plate on first, just because it's just a little work in it, just making sure it all comes together. And that's the longer pin. Okay. All right, so that is in. Butt plate will not come off. So on the bottom piece that I was telling you about, you'll notice that it's got a little bit of a snap to it, because that's basically inside. It's just little canted. So then you take your last pin, which is the shortest pin, which is, you'll figure it out. It's a little trial and error. You don't want to get the wrong pin. Okay. Good. So that's on. I got both the pins. Both of them are installed on there, placed, and there's the one for the receiver. Everything is in there tight. Little magazine. Nice thing about this magazine, it's very lightweight. Holds about, the standard capacity holds about 25 rounds. On here is a little lever, little pocket, and it holds CO2 cartridges. You can put about 3 of them in there, or BBs, but I wouldn't put BBs in there because they'll rattle and might give your position away. But I don't put anything in there. Maybe a cloth to keep everything clean. But what we'll do now is, let me get everything else lined up. Hang on.